What's up, everybody? It's Fizzwidget, and we're here to talk about Sword Art Online Progressive and basically why this manga, well, fixes a lot of the problems that the original series had. Now, before we can really start talking about Sword Art Online Progressive, there are two major things we need to talk about. Asuna's role and Kirito's role. Because, well, they're actually very, very different than what they are in the original show. Oh, wow, what do you mean by that? Well, what I mean by that is that Kirito, we no longer follow this fuckboy. Instead, we follow the more, in my opinion, I should say, the much more interesting of the two, Asuna, through her adventures. And it's actually really, really cool. Now, the other thing, and I have not read the original light novel that inspired the show, or if it was a manga that inspired a light novel, but usually it's the light novel that inspires the manga, that inspires the anime, that inspires the rabid fan base. Because let's be real here, no one over 12, other than me, actually loves this show, and I do. I do fucking love Sword Art Online. I like the games, I like Sword Art Online Progressive, I fucking love the show. And you guys saw my review on it. I think I rated it fairly. I gave it a 4 out of 10. But that doesn't stop me from fucking loving it. Now, with Asuna as our main character, that opens up a lot of new stuff because we get to see, well, her, the non-pro gamer, going into all this. Hell, in the, I think it was the second volume, I'm not sure which chapter, I own the first 4 volumes, those are the only volumes that are out. The 5th volume, I believe, is coming out soon. She doesn't even like video games. She just basically joins it because, well, she was pressured into it. And it's fucking great. And Kirito still does play a major role. And he has a lot of, well, I'm plugging my hands here, a lot of, this motherfucker right here, he's got a lot of screen time, a lot of page space. But it's always backing up the more interesting of the two. He plays they both play well with each other. But especially in this, he plays really well off of Asuna. And that's really important to making this show work, this manga work. Because honestly, I thought Sword Art Online would have been a much better show if, I'm not sure if I said this in my review, but it would have been a much better show if they did something like they did in Progressive. And what do I mean by that? I mean, Progressive is going through every single floor of Sword Art Online. I'm not sure if they're going off the game continuity. They're probably using the light novel and the show continuity that ended at 86. While the game continuity, there was a bug which dragged ALO players in, so it's all these people past floor 86. I haven't played the game because it's only in Japan, which sucks. I have Lost Song, and it's a lot of fun, and I will make a video on Lost Song in the future. But that's that with the main characters. And I have to say, they're both also, now Asuna I always thought was kind of neat, but she was never explored that much. She was a character, and I mean, where's my webcam? Character, just like Kirito was a character, just like Agil, I still have no idea how to say his name, is a character, and Klein is a character. They were fucking cutouts. They were. It's not like, and I'm gonna use a shonen anime and I don't give a shit. It's not like One Piece where, well, I can't really say Naruto. I've never really seen Naruto. From what I've heard, Naruto, at least the original stuff, where they're fully realized characters. They just weren't in the original series, and in this they are. So much stuff makes a lot more sense. Like, I'm gonna spoil something that's right in the beginning, and you're just gonna have to be okay with that. Like, something that explains, so in the show they wouldn't have done anything that really explained why Asuna really liked or fell in love with Kirito so easily, because they skipped so many floors. But one thing that, and this is going to make things make a lot more sense if it does follow the show's continuity, but we're not going to know that for a long time, because this is a relatively recent manga. I think the light novels are a lot older, but I don't read normal books. This is as much reading as I do. But where was I? Right. The thing that actually makes this make a lot more sense. So when let me get my hands back in here. So when Asuna goes into SAO, gets trapped there, there's a point where she just kind of leaves. She goes off trying to find a special hidden logout zone that obviously doesn't exist. And she goes to find that. She gets fucking stunned by monsters. Kirito saves her. There's some more tact to that, and honestly, there's a lot more humor. And that's another thing I have to say about Progressive. The humor is top notch. I think you can attribute that to there are some things that are much easier to convey in a manga and more places you can go in a manga that you cannot do on television, and that's just kind of just part of dealing with the medium. But I want to say this. Progressive is how the show should have been. It's funny. It's fucking funny. There's a really good writing. All the action scenes, well, it's kind of hard to follow fight choreography in a manga, but the action scenes, the action in these books, really fucking good. I'm really bad at reading it, but it's good. Action's good, comedy's good. I haven't really found much drama. The writing's good, and you know what? I think the best thing I like about this, and the two biggest things, is one, what it should have been, and this is what Sword Art Online, Sword Art Online should have been all fucking along. This is what it should have been. It should have been progressive. It should have been 100 episodes, all in Einkrad, all along. That's what it should have been. It wasn't. That's not what the original light novels were. This, I think, is a much better product. I can highly recommend buying it. I think you can get all four on Amazon for like $40. I'm not sure if there's a fifth. If you speak Japanese, there's a fifth. If you speak Japanese and you can get a hold of a Japanese thing, you're fucking good. You can find a fifth. I don't think I have access to that yet. But that's what this should have been. But the biggest thing, I think the biggest improvement so far is they've made Kirito likable. Part of that is not making him the main character, everything from his perspective. Part of that's also making him much more human. He is. He's actually much more human. He seems like a character. Now, I'm not talking BoJack... Okay, I'm about to use a fucking Western cartoon. But BoJack Horseman level, that's a whole different story, but they're characters. They are characters. Also, I gotta say something, Saibao is Southern and it fucking kills me. I can't think of anything else I really want to say about this book. Other than it's fucking amazing. Excuse me. Other than it's fucking amazing. I'm just gushing. I'm just gushing at this point. Buy it. Seriously. Characters are great. The art, well, the art's okay. It's your standard manga. I'm about to go read the next 2 volumes, and maybe I'll make a follow-up video. Not tomorrow. I'm doing a bunch of stuff tomorrow. I'm skipping pages, showing this off. Buy these books. Don't be like my friend. Don't steal them. Buy them. Fucking do it. Or steal them. Read the first couple chapters and see if you like it for yourself. I don't want to talk about... Now, this is more of a first impressions video, if you haven't told. Because it's not over yet. It's going to be a long time until it's over, and I'll probably talk about it more. I've gotten through... I don't want to say I've gotten through an arc. I've gotten... The first 2 books take you through... The first 2 books take you through the first floor and the second floor's first field boss. And it's amazing, and you should check it out. And I'm rambling, and goodbye. Seriously, guys, remember to like, comment, favorite, and subscribe. I'm going to drop a fucking... I'm not going to drop a link. Well, I will drop a link to a website that I am going to start using to buy manga. And they should really sponsor me. Too bad none of my fan base comes to me for this shit. This has been a really rambly video, and I'm sorry. The next video won't be so rambly. But be sure to like, comment, favorite, subscribe. And check out Sword Art Online Progressive. This has been Fizzwidget signing out. See ya.